Hello, beautiful sacred souls. Today I want to share a reflection on curiosity and why it matters and how it helps us relate to others more deeply, even when their perspective feels challenging or difficult from our own. Sometimes when we share our ideas or our work, someone might respond in a way that feels dismissive, critical, or even self-promotional. And that sometimes can trigger protective parts of ourselves, and that's okay. That's actually human. And I experienced that today. I had a post that I put online about the importance of ego maturation, and someone responded by not engaging with the material, but instead promoting their own book and why I should read their book because their perspective will shift my perspective. And that triggered me because I thought there's room for lots of perspectives. And so here's what helps me. It is remembering that everyone is coming from their own level of self-understanding. Each person holds wisdom in their own way. And one perspective isn't automatically right, and another isn't automatically wrong. Curiosity allows us to step back and ask, where might this person be coming from? What protective part of themselves might be reacting to what I put out there? And when I do this, I create space to understand others without judgment, while staying grounded in my own boundaries and values, and open to hearing different perspectives. We all have protective parts that sometimes act before our inner compass, and those parts might unintentionally cause harm or miscommunicate. Not because someone is bad, but because we're human and we are learning. By cultivating curiosity and compassion, we can notice these dynamics without taking responsibility for them. We can respond from the inner compass rather than reacting from our protective parts, by pausing before we respond to notice what's happening internally. So here's some practical takeaways. If this resonates, here are a few steps to try next time you're triggered by someone's behavior or perspective. Pause and notice what is happening in your body. Where do you feel tension or discomfort? And then check in with your parts and ask, which part of me is reacting? What is it trying to protect me from? And then remind yourself, this person is coming from their own wisdom and life experience, and they too have parts. I can stay curious and compassionate without needing to change them. And then you can respond from ethical energy that comes from the inner compass, using the wisdom of your own parts. Curiosity like this doesn't just keep us calm, it helps us understand one another more deeply. It reminds us that we all have different levels of self-awareness and different needs at different times. One perspective isn't right and another wrong. It is important to recognize within ourselves if our perspective causes harm and to take accountability for that. But the point is to find the approach that helps us individually feel whole, curious, compassionate, and non-judgmental to engage in the world, causing the least amount of harm. When we practice this consistently, we create deep, intimate relationships, online, in community, and in our own lives that are more ethical, connected, and healing. Thank you for watching. And if this resonates, consider subscribing or visiting my website, blossomingheartwellness.com, or explore more curiosity, self-awareness, and embodied growth by reading my book, The Divine Within, Healing Ourselves to Heal the World. Sending you deep love, no matter where you are on your journey of self-discovery.